Greetings, dear ones, and welcome back. So we are experiencing the energies of the full moon in Libra taking place on April 1st or 2nd. We are also in energies of the 4-4 portal having its peak on April 4th, the 4th day in the 4th month. And in this video I will share with you some channel messages I received as I tapped into the energies, and there will be a transmission as well. So right now our relationships are highlighted with the full moon in Libra. We are called to look upon what is out of balance. So something that has come through very strongly is to see where in relationship to others you sacrifice yourself and who you are sacrificing. So what that means is, what are you doing to maintain peace? Where are you overgiving? Where are you crossing your own boundaries? Where are you taking responsibility for the other person's experience and their emotions? To become clear of when and with whom you sacrifice yourself. So it means to become aware of that inner child. So we all have this pattern, more or less, as children, where we tend to scan people around us to see what behavior was to be preferred. So when we acted in a certain way, where would that help to maintain the peace? Would that make the other person like us more? Would that make them feel better? And I've seen many people that we still carry these patterns, this behavior. So where are you dimming your light? Where are you playing small? Where are you holding back? Where are you not fully standing in your truth, expressing your truth, owning what feels right and true for you? And for many of us on this journey, if we have been on this path for 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, and even more for some of you, there was a time when it wasn't that accepted as it is now to be weird, to be different, to have this view on life, on what is true and what is not, and who we truly are. And so we come to easy to, at an early age, to conform, to not express all of it, to not be excluded or seen as weird. But there is a time when we are actually asked to be an expression of that truth. It is needed. And it doesn't mean that we have to do it all at once, but just to become very clear. Am I holding back right now? Do I wish to say this, but I go play safe and I say this? And why can't I stand making someone else uncomfortable? And it's, of course, it's not about being mean. And it's about, can we allow the discomfort within us when the other person are going through their discomfort? So it's again a calling for us to hold space lovingly, as that wounded child within us finally can being allowed to feel the discomfort we have so hard trying to avoid. It's not, we are not in danger anymore because we are not in the need for ours approval as you may have been as a child. So that takes practice for the inner child, for you to redirect yourself from experience everything through the experience of the inner child to the adult one, the one that is aligned with truth, that tap into your true self, of that presence of what is constant and unchangeable. So when you hold yourself with compassion as the discomfort arises with you, but you stand your ground, you're also holding space for the other to move through what they need to move through, what they need to see, what they need to experience, and what they need to allow themselves to feel. And that will also sometimes activate the other. And to that degree they are ready for it or not, it's not our responsibility. So with the full moon in Libra, it calls for greater balance in a relationship, you with yourself and you with others. So it is to know, to bring back balance. What is right for me will be right for the other. So that is actually helping them to not take away that opportunity for them to grow. So we are growing together, and it's all held with love. Right now we have this great influence of Venus, and so we are all held in love. Our experiences, our growth, our healing is held and guided by love, and it can be helpful to know that this is expanding you. It's bringing you back to wholeness, even though it's uncomfortable. So that is something to pay attention to right now. Where are you sacrificing yourself to maintain a false sense of peace? And who are that inner child that you're sacrificing? Who, that version of you that need to be looked at and to be whole, integrated back into the whole, to be healed. And the energies of the 4-4 portal, what they keep saying to me, the guides are stable as a table. I find it a bit funny, but it is. We are right now creating a new foundation. It's very solid, it's very physical, it's very grounding energies. And so that is also what we will bring through in the transmission. And so the energies right now is creating this new foundation away from that wounded self. So they again explains to us that when so again we can put it like this, the rising, I talk about this a lot, of the divine feminine within all of us right now, is bringing back to balance the imbalanced masculine domination that has been on earth for the last couple of thousand of years. And that is within many of us, whether you are a male or female. So it is the need for control, it's a need for power. It is trying to create from the mind. The divine feminine that is rising is it can feel like being out of control, because it is when we step aside, when we move away from doing into being, we become a pure vessel for source to move through us. Life happens through us. That is walking upon this earth in peace, at peace, in faith, in trust. It is the opposite of forcing, trying, manipulating, controlling. That comes from the wounded masculine. That is that is in domination. So remember that when we try to make it happen through from a place of being in the mind is very limited. It is our experiences that we have had in this life. It is also to be remembered that how the brain works. The brain tends to remember what went wrong, and even to put more, even remember it as worse than it was, for us to not make the same mistake. So when we act from that state, of course, that is what we will navigate from, and that is what we will navigate to, because being in that frequency will always only draw into us more of the same. And that is what we want to move away from. So that is what is happening, right? They help us to build a new foundation that doesn't stem from the wounded self. And another thing that they want me to share is that, especially in the last video and in some of the previous ones, I talked a lot of being comfortable, to being in the unknown, to be at a standstill. So when we try to make it happen from the mind, and you don't really feel like it anymore, that will happen to a lot of you. To be comfortable but with taking a step back. But on the other hand, that you feel this urge to move forward with something, even though it doesn't seem to make sense. It's not a part of the plan you thought you had. That doesn't come from the mind. It doesn't feel like a smart choice, maybe. Then act. If it's just doing something that you don't know why you feel that urge, or you cannot see where it will take you, what it will lead to, then act. Trust and act. So have the courage to take a step back, and have the courage, if you feel the call, to move into action without having the whole plan figured out. You don't need that. So that is what is coming to balance. So balance, what are you sacrificing? Whom? When are you sacrificing yourself? When are you playing small? Who are you sacrificing? Who is here to be healed and integrated in the whole right now? And of course that will shine a light on any tendency of codependency as well. To be comfortable in the discomfort and others' discomfort most of all. So we are not actually, it's not so much about them, it's us not being able to feel the discomfort within us when we are not pleasing another. And so we will move into the transmission. So when I tapped into today's transmission, they said they want to offer us the building blocks. So they show me these building blocks like light codes. These beautiful crystalline building blocks. So that is what is coming through. So if you're willing, you just say yes and be open to receive. as we connect. So the pressure is on, the energy is very, it is felt, it is strongly felt. So the Pleiadians mi porinayanai. Tishano tishana kimiatai. They are paving way, Paresakayanai. They are decluttering breaking loose clusters of stagnation around your on your crown. Murutoshanaka intekima itekayata keteke batarana kitikotokoto tushemetarana kayatarana, for creating more space for it to be received. Maretakayana. So drop into your heart. Mekai shinaka. Laremena keti sikayata. As there is also a strong presence of Jesus, of Yeshua with us, and has been the last weeks as we are approaching Easter, Patarana, that is also, I always feel the presence of Yeshua at this time, as we are being reminded of the death and the rebirth that we are here to experience. The dying of everything that is not, the awakening to what is. So Yeshua has this message to you, for you, that he walks with you as you allow yourself to die and die again. As you awaken to the truth of who you are, of what you are, as you have the courage to allow the illusions to die. It may be a painful experience, but the more we can surrender to it, the more ease we will feel. Tushanakai, Mikitai, Taranai, Shuloranetra Sekayatai. And he's assisting you in the coming days, Batarena, to go through this Matayanai. Pitayanai. And he says to move through death with ease. Easter, Matarete Kayana. So it's funny, Patayanaka. Ease into it. Pashito Toshita. They're working on your field, Piyanakai, expanding. Nereteyanaya pete koshete sene kayana ketere da remete kayana kete sekototo. They are greeting you and they are thanking you as you receive these building blocks for the new to be created, the new earth being created by you as it is happening through you. So what they explain is that the new is already, it's existing already in the ground. The light codes we receive will activate them, and it is as the new foundation will rise to meet us, for those of us who are ready. It's almost like the seeds planted in the soil. It's there, and with the sunlight, with the rain, it will get activated and it will start to grow. So that is what we are receiving, by allowing. As we move away from the mind, there's nothing the lower mind can bring you that you want. To have the courage to let go of control, to control the outcome, to let go as the feminine, divine feminine will rise. Shasete mekai tishenaretayaki. I feel the grip, the desperation in some of you. Whatever that looks like, can you put it down just for now? With your intention that is done. Moya nake kerene teranaya naki. 4 directions. Titoro netrese shekaitai kaskitoshe. 4 makes up an 8, this infinite symbol. And with infinite blessings, opportunities, this new foundation is being created. Taresakayanai, Shimiro Sashanai, and now receive. Shateki Shimiata Tekiata Sipitoshai. Loaya Iana Kiteare Semiontorena Yataki. Gai Diana Pai Daishiniki Darshinitoriso Shoto Ayaka. I erina Diana Bedoto. The gratitude, with the gratitude and joy of receiving. Laishina Rasai Gayana Kikiki. And for those of you who have find it hard to receive, this will challenge something within you. Allow it to be released. Simurosa etati nerekiate te peara patakitiki no pitiaterekia. I inaranakiata karatakutush in ete amianaka I ataka kikitososos. La inaritai atisa infinite possibilities. Siunoreta kikikenarat. Koa wayalere menayate kea sipitoshenete teare kiataka kikenar. I or onayata I koto I paranaka. Shanakete parapataki ananana upataki totoshi itar anakita yataka kukuku amadara. Breaking loose those clusters. Matatoto shoshu shematata shemakatata. Ayati arete kasi. Lo uno no dodo nina nayata yapata. Sunyate kushu shushu shayana. Laitayane kiko shaitra sayana. And Yeshua again. When you stay truth to truth, what version that is not of truth do you need to sacrifice? What version of yourself are you holding up as a shield between you and others? To shield yourself from feeling? What version of yourself are you that this Easter called to let die? the child that felt that it was its duty to make everyone else feel good, feel comfortable, to not be pushed aside, to not be excluded, to not be the target of others' discomfort, anger, pain. Other people's pain, I feel that's a big one. So allow that to be released. To see it as your duty to take on other people's pain. Where did you see it as your mission to take on where other people couldn't stand themselves? What other people couldn't live with within themselves? The version of you that you sacrificed, bring that version of yourself into the light right now. Offer it back into the light. And the version of you that you become by doing this, are you ready to let him, her die? To once again stand in truth. You don't need to know what that feels like, looks like, how it's done. All that is needed is your willingness, your courage. And if that is a yes, I walk with you. I walk with you. I hold your hand. Tarere me dayaliar setar kita nayaka. Shaminere teka, and I feel pain in the heart. Shatisime nakai. Mitosito toto. Nere dayaka. Emonoto. As you step up on your throne once again, as you stand in your light, as you allow, as you rise, as you are being reborn. Larkitaya nayana, shedrosa, enekai tiko. No toto shana, eminaratak. Allow your roots to go deep into that new foundation, the retesh. Mitena keto sene yataya. It is done. Sending you many blessings as we integrate. Thank you. Thank you to Yeshua, to Yanakai.